Good morning and welcome back once again to another Talklets conversation. I was so encouraged. I was so hyped up about last week's conversation with you. Do you believe? But I wanted to flow again that same, if you will, that same passion for this particular conversation. Go with me to the book of Luke, the gospel, according to Apostle Luke, chapter 16, verse 8. Luke, chapter 16, verse 8. The children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. Now, every time we read that, we think of our children and how naive they are, how lax they are, how complacent they are, laid back, not confident, not inspired, don't know where they are, don't know their purpose in life. And we see the children in this world as being smarter than our children because they know the street lingo, they understand the streets, and they're moving and trying to make things happen. They're hustling. But when you look at this scripture from a different perspective, stop looking at your children and start looking at yourself. Because this is talking more about you. Yeah, I know you want to talk about your children, but listen to this, the children of this world, your child in this world, and their generation wiser than the children of light. We have allowed the enemy to come in and infiltrate everything God has set up for us to make us feel that we're less than and that the world is greater than. That's what's happened. And we've done this whole, if you will, injustice to our children because of our insecurities, because of our shortcomings. We pushed this on them. And because you came up short in life, because you're not where you want to be, you have taken your kids and you abused them verbally. You've mistreated them. And then you start telling them that, so you see what Johnny does? And Johnny's not even in church. But Johnny's making some of himself because his mom and dad has poured into him. And all you've done is beat your child up. So now children have what I call attachment issues. And you see them out here trying to join these kids in the street because they like the street culture. And the street culture is like pack animals. And that's what dogs are. Dogs are pack animals to survive. I'm not calling your kid a dog. I'm just saying that's what's taking place. And so they found themselves being comfortable somewhere where they feel they can survive, they can thrive in. Because you've let them down. You've let your own child down. You're trying to protect them in some sense, but really and truly, you've been protecting yourself from things that you didn't achieve. That's all it is. That's what you've been doing. And you pushed all this hate and all this drama. You shoved all this stuff down your child's throat. And they were too young to handle it. And so now they fight back the only way they can by listening to their peers in the streets, telling them how to fight you, how to make you stand down. I told you, I've never liked that term dog. I'm serious. I've never liked that term. I never could deal with it. But now I'm fond of it because your child needs a little dog inside of them. Because let me tell you, dogs are loyal to their masters. They're aggressive. They're curious. They're fearless. I mean, everyone should have a little dog inside of them. What you've tried to do is you've tried to keep the dog out of your child. And that's where you've messed up. You see, that passion they have, that gift they have that God has given them, that's for him. I mentioned to you last week that I was so inspired by Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. I told you, to me, he's a marketing genius. He decided not to go the traditional route when it came to giving his players different positions and titles. And most coaches have captains on their team. And Deion decided he didn't want captains. He wanted dogs and leaders. And for the first time, I subscribe to this modern day branding, if you will. I mean, it's a part of who I've become now. Coach Prime always has this big smile, if you will. He's got those big old pearly white teeth. And I mean, he's showing them. But he's showing you how courageous he is in protecting his kids. And that's what caught my heart. And that's what this conversation is about. Is how do we protect our children? How do we put them in the hands of people who want the best for them? Because not everybody wants the best for your child. You should, but not everyone does. And so you got to make sure that you put them in the best position, upon the best people to mentor them, to be over them, if you will. Now, Dion has a knack for talking with immediate, and he's calm and cool and collected, and he does a great job. But if you pull his collar too tight, he's going to bite you with a righteous response. And I love it because that's what's needed. Because people will play with you and play on you if you don't watch out. Because when you think about it, dogs don't react. No, dogs make things happen. And we don't have enough dogs in our lives. We don't have enough dogs in our home when you think about it. When it comes to your family, let me tell you something. You not only should want a dog, you need a dog on your team. You need somebody who knows how to hit hard and bark louder than anyone else. You need someone who knows how to get everyone focused and in the right alignment. That's what you need. I'm gonna tell you, captains don't do that. No. You know what captains do? The captains on the team, they want to make sure their uniforms stay pristine, don't get scratched up, don't get dirty. I mean, they don't want to get any filth on them because they're just there for status. Those are status players. I looked at Shedeur Sanders, a quarterback. He reminds me of Tom Brady, how strategic of a thinker that he is, how he's a big time game playmaker. He's a leader. And then I looked at Travis Hunter, who all the hype is about. And he reminds me of Deion Sanders. He plays both sides of the ball. I mean, he can play both sides of the field. Two-way player, fast, alert. He's got that dog in him, that DOG. And then I look at the opposite side of the field on the defensive side. I notice there's one player who's trying to knock everybody's block off. I mean, he's trying to make everybody sweat. And you don't want to come on that side of the field because you know this guy's going to try to knock your block off. He's going to hit you with everything he has. It reminded me of the Hall of Famer, Darrell Revis. They called it Revis World. You didn't want to be on that side of the field. No receiver, running back wanted to come on that side. That individual who reminds me of Darrell Revis is Shiloh Sanders. See, to me, it's Shiloh's world. Shiloh's over there, and he's got that W. Yeah, he's got that W thing, that DWAG, that dog in him, because he's barking loud, and he's trying to make some things happen. He reminds me of that dog in your yard, your front yard, where you walk by, and there's a fence between you and him, and he gets up and he just starts pacing with you. Now, he ain't saying too much, but he's pacing with you. He got like a little grimace on his face. He's just pacing with you as he's walking beside the fence. Listen to me. And he might growl every once in a while because he's trying to figure out, how do I get on that side of the fence to bite you? He always wants to bite you. He wants to get you. Or some of you are like that puppy that you have inside the house, that pet, that pet you have in the house, that little dog, your house dog you have, and you pet it and you stroke it. And he's no good for nothing besides simply comfort and cuddling. I mean, that's what he's for. But I want that dog on my team who's outside prancing, who's protecting me. Now, I don't need that puppy to cuddle with. I mean, you can have him, but I want that dog on the outside. That's what everyone needs. We need to make sure that our children understand the difference between a pet and a real dog, a DWAG. Something inside of you needs to pull you towards being better, being more. As parents, it's our responsibility to pour into our children, to inspire them, to encourage them, to build them. But when I look at the score, and you might not like this, but this is what I see. 99% of what you're doing with your child is that you are correcting them. You're bullying them. You're arguing with them. You're putting them down. You're being negative to them. You're always complaining. You're always saying something that's not encouraging, something that's not uplifting. But you want them to go to school and go in this world. You want them to be 99% on point. But you haven't put nothing in them. You might have given them 1% of encouragement. That's it. 1%. That's a low ratio. I mean, come on. That was some bad odds. 99% of negativity before they leave the house. 1% of somewhat, hey, have a good day. That's our problem. That's our problem. And then we send these children with 99% negativity being pushed out the door to go to school, to go to church, and to go to whatever event they have to attend. And now we're telling the teachers, I want you to fix my son. I want you to make him a better person. You're telling the pastor, I want you to fix my son. I want you to make him a better person. And you failed your son, your daughters at home. You didn't put anything in them, but you want someone else to put everything in them. And then you have the audacity to go to school and be upset when your child acts out. And you look and say, well, how did you behave like this? What are you doing? Well, no, it's what you didn't do. It's what you didn't do. It reminds me of Moses. When you think about it, the children of Israel kept murmuring, kept complaining. And to the point Moses got so upset, he He struck a rock with his staff versus speaking to the rock, and he got in trouble and forfeited his opportunity to go into the promised land because he was so upset. He's ticked because they've just been complaining and murmuring ever since he got them free from Egypt. And that's the way some of you are. Your children have never heard you say anything encouraging in a long time. You complain all day long. You're in their head all day long, and they're just tired of it, tired of it. And so they go out and start acting out on that stuff. Once again, you're asking what's wrong. You're what's wrong. It would be nice if you could put 99%. Let's start with this. If you could give them 90% praise and 10% correction, how different would your child be? At home, at school, where would they go? I mean, how proud would they carry your name? If my parents praise me 90% of the time and 10% of the time, they correct me because I need it. I mean, I need to be corrected. Don't get me wrong. We can't just ignore it. We've got to correct them. But you've got it so messed up. You've got it turned upside down. 1% praise, 99% complaining, correction. That's too much. That's too much for anyone. That's why these streets have your children, because the street is praising them. The streets applauding them. How do we flip this back upside right? We're going to have to, because Israel kept getting in trouble because they kept complaining. So that was a great example for all of us. We can't be like that. God's not into that. As a matter of fact, God looks at that and says, these people, why they keep putting me in this contempt? Why they keep messing with me? Why they keep ticking me off? That's what he was saying. I mean, we don't want to be like Israel. God kept making this statement. What's wrong with Israel? My people. He told lack of faith, little faith, doubt. I mean, always confused, always murmuring, always bickering about something, never content. It takes a man with some dog in him to protect his family. Men, you've got to stand up in your homes. You've got to stop letting everyone in your home be a dog but you. You've got to stand up and you've got to become the dog in your home to where if you want peace, you bring peace to your home. You make it happen. You can't let your wife have a bigger voice than you in your home. Not possible. I know she talks louder than you, but I'm sorry. She can't have a bigger voice than you because it runs the whole house. And if it's running the wrong way, then you can't stop it. It's like a freight train, just move it without any brakes. You got to shut that down. Men, you can't let your children run your home. You can't. They can't have a voice louder than yours in your home. Men, it's time for us to stand up. It's time for us to have that dog in us. Yeah, that dog that has respect. That dog that coaches his team at the house before they leave. That dog that has the image of Jesus Christ inside of him. The meekness, the humbleness, the charity, the love, the protective measure. That's what we have to be. My father had that dog in him. My father held down a full-time job as a diesel mechanic. And then he had several side hustles, if you will, to make some passive income to support his family. My father once told me that he hadn't taken a vacation in 15 years because he'd take that vacation money, he'd turn it to cash, and he'd use that and just forget about the rest. See, that's the dog in you supporting your family. You do what you have to do. My father never stayed away from home, not one night, not one night. And I'm sure there's some nights where he thought about walking away from 12 children. Come on, that's a lot of responsibility. But he did. You see, a dog leaves home every morning to make ends meet. But he would never stray or stay. He'll always return home to finish what he started. That's a dog. It takes a dog to stay. What we're dealing with right now, we're dealing with puppies. Yeah, you see puppies run away, but a dog will stay. My father never hit my mother. As a matter of fact, my father never raised his voice at my mother. Now, don't get me wrong, she provoked him. Oh, did she? Lord. I don't know how he held it in, but she provoked him on several occasions. But my father always, yeah, had control of the dog inside of him. Had he be, he'd say, had he be. And she'd know after a couple of had he be's, it's time to calm down. Our children don't understand the tone of the dog in us because we're always shouting at them, always shouting, always loud voice. You can never get your child to react with that loud voice once he hears it that many times because he knows that that's just simply wind just blowing in there. You got to start right here with a small whisper to your children. That's how you raise them. That's how you rear them. That's how you train them. My voice has so much gravity to it, has so much weight to it that when I speak, you need to capture it. When you have to get up here, all you're doing is talking to yourself. You've lost control. That's where you don't want to be. You want to have full control in the presence of your children, in the presence of your wife. See, my father was always teaching us, yes, never pushing sports on us. He was pushing how to be mature on us. That's the dog in him, knowing that everyone wasn't going to make it in sports, but you're going to make it in life if you know how to be mature and be responsible. When you look back at slavery, those slaves had to have what I call another dimension inside of them, inside their minds, another layer, if you're thinking about it. I mean, they were laying on those ships for months on their backs, on the floor, with chains on them. I mean, to get over here to this country, to then have to be slaves and to work for everybody but themselves, you have to have a mindset. I mean, to arrive here and to look at your family being sold off and looking at how you were mistreated and to still sing the gospel and to still provide and to work and to still not give up and try to have a mutiny or something because you know your family will be killed. That's a dog inside of you of determination that one day we're going to be free. You see, some of you give up so fast. You don't know how to wait and hold on. You just give in and give out. You got to know how to wait. I applaud my ancestors. Yeah, for the pain, for their suffering, for holding that dog inside of them, to control it, not to break out. Yeah, not to do something stupid. So I could be here right now. King David had to learn how to discipline the dog inside of him, committing adultery. I mean, doing some stupid stuff. King David got into loving to kill. I mean, after a while, killing became a sport to him. He enjoyed killing. And so he had to learn how to tame that dog inside of him. That's what most of us have to do. Man, your nature. That's the dog inside of you. You got to learn how to tame that. It's one thing to father a child. It's another thing to be the father of that child. We got to realize that this passion that we have inside of us, what if we use it more here versus down there? What if we really put this to work more than anything else? How awesome would we be? Whenever a mother's child is in trouble, just show you a little dog that's inside of her. She'll go to fight for him. She'll go to bat for him. She'll be like a shark in waters, infested waters, and she will bite everybody around to get her child, out of trouble, to get him heard. See, that's what mothers do. My father never told me that I had to be a dog, if you will. He never told me, Donnie, you need to be a dog. You need to be aggressive. No. I watched him. See, he allowed me to watch him, to watch his passion. Because he was teaching me that cats, watch this, cats are cool, but dogs are respected. That's what he taught me from watching him. When I played basketball, I was that dog on the court. Oh, yeah. I'm nice, calm, and collective off that court. Not that dog in me, though. I'm just clever with it. But in practice, every practice, I brought the dog. You have to bring it. He has to be in there. Man, let me tell you something. If you cheat on your girlfriend, if you cheat on your wife, you have them making the statement that all men are dogs. And see, they've got it wrong because dogs are loyal. Dogs are courageous. Dogs are fighters. Yeah, they're fearless. Let me tell you what you are. You're a pup. That's what you are. See, women, you're giving them the wrong title. Men, don't get me wrong. It happens both ways. We're giving women the wrong title. If you're a cheater, yeah, you're a pup. You're not a dog. That's too big of a title for you. But we've been giving you something that you haven't achieved, that you haven't earned. You're a puppy. You're a little wimp. Yeah, you're spoiled. You're wet behind the ears. That's what you are. And that's who you are. Mess up your whole family cheating. That's a puppy. That's an immature pup. That's what that is. I want to make it very clear. And that's why our children are so messed up. We got that crazy labeling. No, call him what he is. He's a pup. Some of you, when you gave your life to Jesus Christ, guess what you did? You gave up your dog tags. You gave up all your passion. You got all these gifts inside of you. And you came on this side trying to be like a little pup, just sitting in the corner, don't want to do anything. I'm just going to wait for the Lord. No. God needs your passion. He needs your gifts for the kingdom. Come on. He needs all that strength you have inside of you. Who told you to lay down? Stay down. No. need you to get up and perform. You need to be what you're supposed to be in the kingdom. See, athletes are told, if you make a mistake, shake it off because the next play is coming and make a better play. Men, that's what we should be doing. Yeah, when you gave your life to Christ, that was awesome. And you don't want to make any more mistakes, so you're being very careful. No, 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 no. Get out here and get in the game. Come on, get back in the game of life. We need you out here. You see our children. You see what this world is going through. I need that passion inside of you to come flowing through. I need you to be positive for your family. I need them to see that, yes, the best in you still can get up and make it happen. Stop laying down. Yeah. Stop crying about what you didn't achieve and start showing your children what's left and what needs to be completed. That's what you need to do. You need to go pick up your dog tags. Yes. Go retrieve your dog tags and bark life back into yourself. That's what you need to do. But let me tell you something. You can't bark or bite your way into heaven, but you can confess and believe your way in. When we talk about the children of this world being wiser than the children of light, and we talk about the parents of this world being wiser than the children of light, let me tell you one thing that we do have on this world, and that is that the light is a light for a reason. And that's because the light has confessed that Jesus Christ is Lord. The light believes in his heart that God has raised his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, from the dead. See, and we're saved. So we do have a light, a bright light. We're called a light upon a hill. Let's let our light shine. Let's take our families back by force. And let's make sure that we are being positive as we can be. To where we flip the script to 90 to 10. 90% positive, 10% correction. Now go back home and pick up your dog tags and wear them well. You be blessed.